Nicola here again from Conscious Crypto Traders, and we combine metaphysics, astrology, numerology with classical technical analysis and mindset to create freedom through crypto. And today I just wanted to do a really brief overview of what we did yesterday when we did a massive bird's eye view of the charts, zoom in and see where we're going after the CPI data, which was just released. So if you didn't see yesterday's video, really important to watch it, because we looked at the potential for us to head back down here to create a double bottom down here at 15, somewhere in 15,400, somewhere around there. Or are we only going to come back down here to the point of control at 2876 before bouncing off and continuing with this bull rally? So that sounds great. We want to zoom in, zoom out, zoom in is what I like to say. That sounds great. We'd love for you to like this video and subscribe, join our community, and be conscious in your trading along with us. So just a brief overview of yesterday's video. We have on the weekly, we have a cup and handle up here. 61,278 is the target. Big patterns on big time frames generally tend to play out. So if this does play out, then we are not looking at a big retracement if we get a drop. Even though I said the potential is always there for us to come back down lower. And the reason I say that is because I did an interview with Lisa, the numerologist catalyst, and she's saying that there's a couple of dates that are coming up that we could see black swan events for. And I think anywhere between the 14th to the 17th, and then again on the 23rd. Watch that video, link is in the description below. So that we've always got that in our mind at this stage, right? But as I look at the charts right now, to me, they look really bullish, right? So we've got this bull flag or this bull pennant here, and we've also got an ascending triangle here, which we'll see more when we zoom in on the daily. And we've got a bull flag target of 37,550, and we've got an ascending triangle of 34,641. We have a golden cross about to happen. Oh, I haven't got my moving averages on. Right there with the 100 and the 150 crossing, which is an indication that we've been going up and we're going to continue to go up, right? So, but here's the deal. Classic crypto, we have those conflicting indicators. We've got a bearish divergence on the weekly, and we have a bearish divergence on the 4-hourly. And the 4-hourly one might have already played out, but this is what I'm most concerned about, which is why I'm doing the video today. On my top and bottom finder, I've got a sell signal on the weekly, and you can see when we've had sell signals on the weekly, we have had a little bit of downward action. This one here didn't go down immediately, but it went down a couple of weeks later. So it is possible that that sell signal could see us go up to finish up this fifth wave of our Elliott wave count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sitting up here at around about where the bull flag target is. And then we could come back down. That is a possibility. And then we would just be coming back down to retest the neckline of the cup and handle, which sits at about 30,689. We're just under that right now. So with those contradictions, we want to zoom in. So that's the big overview of what we've got going on here. Remember this trading zone that I've got here in green. If we look to the left, we dipped in it quite a bit when we were coming down into the bear market. When we were finishing off over here to the left even more, we were in it for weeks. There's a couple of months before we started to go up into wave 5, which was a very, very short wave 5. Oops, sell signal on mana. There we go. For those of you who are interested in the indicators that I am using, they are paid indicators. I've got the trend reversal, which always tells me if the trend of trading is reversing. When it's at the top, it is reversing to the downside, and when it's at the bottom, it's reversing to the upside, and when it's in the middle, it's quite neutral. And and also the price versus the whale money flow. This tells me at a glance what the whales are doing on the weekly. Money is coming out, so we are expecting a bit of a pullback coming up. And when all of this is in confluence, so let's have a look here. We go to buy signal right here. You can see when the RSI is low, the whale money flow is low, and the trend reversal is low. That's usually an indication that we are heading back up. When we get strong buy signals, it's usually when we're much lower down here in the charts, coming down just a tad more, and then we zoom up. So if you're interested in learning more about those indicators, the link for the description for the bundle pack is in below. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that the 100 moving day average on the weekly has flipped bearish. So when there's contradiction in the market, what do we need to look for? Well, let's come over to the daily. I'm on the weekly. This is a channel that's moving to the upside, and rising channels generally tend to break to the downside, and that would make sense because, before I go to the daily, let's just have a look at it very cleanly. If this is a 1, 2, Elliott wave count, 3, which is the longest wave, 4 is the retracement wave, and the 5, wherever that ends up being, that could be the first wave of an Elliott wave count for the entire market. Oops. Hang on a second. I just got ahead of myself there. Damn it. Let me pull this over. So what we could be looking at is this. Trading view on my computer. It goes really slow. If that's wave 1, so we've got 5 waves inside of wave 1, we get a retracement back to the 50%, which could come back down to here, right? Could be higher, could be lower. We don't know just yet. I like here because if we look to the left, you can see that there was a W that clarified that was the bottom of the market, in my opinion. And then that would be wave 3, 4, and then wave 5, wherever wave 5 ends up being. We'll have a better idea where wave 5 will end up once we get this retracement. But this is a rising wedge, and rising wedges tend to break down to the downside. So we do have an impending event of us coming down, right? But that doesn't mean that intraday trading we can't do a scalp or a short trade up here. It just means that if you are longing, you have to be very careful that the market could reverse on you. And if you're accumulating Bitcoin, be aware that we're coming up to zones where it's really good to offload some so that you can buy back on the dip and accumulate more. So let's come down into the daily. This is what I want you to be watching out for so that we can know, is that 1 hour, is this bull flag going to be an inverse Bart Simpson, simply because it should have broken to the upside by now and it hasn't. Whenever we have this long trading sideways, right, whenever that happens, that could be a very sharp drop that you can't see coming. And that would take us back down into the 24,980 to be in that vicinity, right? That is what we are wanting to watch for. So what do? I usually start watching things on the shorter time frames so that I can see well in advance when that might happen. So I would be looking at the dashboard here to see if any of these moving averages flipped bearish, and I would be coming down to the 1 hour. I'd be bringing in the Ichimoku cloud, and I would be watching for, see, look, we've had a 50 moving average flip bearish, stochastic RSI and the MACD have flipped bearish. So what I'm watching, see this baseline here in red, right there. Actually, I wonder if I can change that color so it's actually easier to see. I like it in red though, because that means that's the baseline there. I think we can do a much brighter red, so then it's easier to see. Yep, there we go. That's good. So see this baseline here. When this is below the blue line, which is a conversion line, that is an indication that we've got bullish momentum in the market. And in the moment, this looks like this is going to flip and keep going up because we've got the green cloud ahead of us. However, we do have a bit of resistance because the lagging span is in the price action. So now what I want to do is I want to come over to the 5 minute, and what I'm looking for is the cross between the conversion and the base. As soon as conversion crosses down on the base, that is an indication that we're going to get further downside. On the 15 minute, it could just be short term. And right now, it looks like they're traveling side by side. Right? You can't even see the blue line. It's under the red line. And everything is bearish here. The wild thing is when everything is bearish in the trend dashboard down here, is that's an indication that you can get somebody coming in like a whale or an institution come in and swoop in and buy up and then push this up to the upside. But if you just have one or two of these in the red, that can indicate that we are going to continue to go down. So that's what I'm watching. So I kind of think that we're going to reverse back up. If I bring in my top and bottom finder to see if we've got any buy signals. We had a buy signal here. We've got liquidity pull down here, so we could gravitate towards 30,000, maybe even 19,500, bounce off of that, and then finish up those bullish trends before having a big retracement. Or as I said before, we could we need to be watching. We need to be watching this here on the 1 hour, and on the 15 minute we could have that very sudden move to the downside. It looks like this is starting to move down anyway. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn all of this off so you can actually see better. And it looks like we're breaking a trend line. Yeah, we are. We're breaking a trend line. So we're breaking a smaller time frame trend line on the 1 hour. When we break these trend lines, often remember we reverse back up, retest them. So if we don't get back up above 30,665, maybe even 30,728, we bounce off of that, get rejected. Then what we're doing is we're creating lower highs, right? And we'll just have to see whether if this is a fake out or we need to retest the line, see how that goes. So we want to watch the 1 hour candle. So I know this can get a bit confusing, but let's just recap. And this is what we need to watch for, right? We're actually in a bigger pattern of a bigger bull flag. See over here, the left flag here, and then going sideways. And we have a smaller bull flag in the 1 hour. And remember, when these bull flags don't break out within a certain amount of time and they trade sideways for too long, we run the risk of having a sudden dump to the downside. And it looks like that might actually already be starting to be in play. And after we've had CPI data, when it's been good news, sometimes you get these really crazy pumps, which I think we just got like this fake pump this morning. And now what we're doing is we get a retracement back to an area of support, and then we can continue on whatever the pattern is. And so this pullback might just be a short one. So let's have a look at that there. Pull this back here to see if we can get a better. So it's broken to the downside on that trajectory, but not this one here. So let's see if we bounce off of 30,294. I know that there is a very strong support sitting here. If you look to the left, we've got a really nice support zone sitting there. 29828 approximately, even 2950. And if we break, I'm going to look for this. Are we breaking 30,280 something? Like, do we break that? Do we retest it and then start coming back down? And then do we break this level here at 29,850, somewhere around there? If we break that, then chances are we are heading down to lower levels, which could at the moment could be 27,874 as the first break. But because this is a Bart Simpson, it could actually come back down to where it started, which would be sitting at 26,803. Right, Bart Simpsons, when they break down, they can fall short, or they can overextend. So I just wanted to do this quick video to make sure that you're watching for these key levels. If we break them, we're heading down a little further. We're going to get that that Bart Simpson drop. If we bounce off of here, or even if we bounce off of here, come back, create a higher high, then this bull flag that we've got that's gone on for a little too long, it is more likely going to play out. We also have an ascending triangle here too. Remember, we've got this larger time pattern that has started, and we've touched it 3 times, and we've got this trajectory here. So that's ascending, and we'll see, is this going to get validated by bouncing off that bottom, or is it going to get invalidated? So right now, in your mindset, when we are squeezed between two really small movements of support and resistance, you can trade these zones if they're larger, but it's very difficult, or not, let me say difficult, it's a little tricky trading them when there's not that big of a gap between the bottom and the top, because sometimes, as we did here, we don't always go to the top of the trend, right? We come back down, and even here we fell short of the trend. So usually this is the time for patience, especially if this is an ascending triangle. We're coming up to its pinnacle, so if it breaks to the upside, it is going to it's going to be amazing. But it's going to validate that we've got that bullish momentum. But we do have these key signs like sell signals here, sell signals on the weekly. So we've got all the levels that we could retrace to. We've got what we need to watch to see, are we going to break to the upside or the downside? This chart is in our Discord. If you want to get a hold of it and then copy it onto your own chart, you go into the technical analysis side. Our Discord channel link is below, and then you can get that for yourself. And we'll just watch this, see how it goes. If there's any sudden movement, either way, and I'm not at the beach, I will do another quick update. One more thing before we go, we do have a retreat coming up here in Costa Rica in March next year, where we're teaching you how to combine numerology, astrology, metaphysics, mindset, wealth creation training with investing and trading in crypto, learning how to scalp live, leverage trading, as well as the different ways that you can spot trade, whether we're in a sideways market, bear market, or a bull market. And it's going to be at our retreat center in Costa Rica. If you want the details for that, head on over to the link below that we have for you in the description, and you just click this button here. Yes, I want the retreat details. Fill out your name, email, and on the other side, you're going to get a video with a download of the brochure. The reason why we don't have a website for this retreat is because it is by invitation only. So if you are interested, you look at the brochure, you're going to book a chat with me. We're going to talk about it to see if it's a good fit for you and you're a good fit for us, because there are only 12 positions and we've got 7 seats left, right? Because we've already had sales. So, and the other thing is that we are going to be doing quite a lot of unplugging from the global elite matrix and of money programming and abundance programming. And whenever you start talking about that online, you end up getting censored. I've had my websites hacked, so I don't want the the information out there far and wide, so it's really easy for algorithms and search engines and what have you to find it. It's really private. It's private between you, me, and the other participants. So we'd rather have those conversations in private with you. So want to do that, get to know a little bit more about that, head on over to that website, click the deets, read it, like it, think you want to come have a chat with me, book. You'll see a link there to book a call with me. And that being said, I will see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to be part of our community. If you check all of our resources below in the description, you'll see that we've got a number of things that can help you, from the Discord channel. We're just resurrecting Twitter. I've never really been big on Twitter. I've really just focused on YouTube and Discord because we can have more of a conversation. And we've also got my private mentoring group called Crypto Ninjas that you can take a look at, as well as some resources to help you in your trading and your investing with cryptocurrency. Thanks so much for listening all the way to the end. Love for you to hit that like button. Thank you. Bye-bye.